Happy Friday to you and happy last day of January. It's kind of hard to believe that the month of January is almost over already. Boy, time is sure flying. But hey, at least we ended the month, at least some of us ended the month with a bit of sunshine. Not all of us saw that today, but in Traverse City we did see a bit of sunshine and it was absolutely lovely. I wouldn't mind a little more sunshine this weekend, but Joe, does Mother Nature have other plans?
You might tomorrow for a little while see some. By the way, when you brought up the end of January, yeah, it feels like doesn't feel like it was just New Year's Eve.
Yes, like 3 days ago.
I know. And now we're heading into February in a few hours here.
Yeah.
And quiet start to start the weekend, Maya, but we will see a little snow later in the weekend. The other thing tonight, too, I'm going to show you this in a few minutes, but it's going to be a cold night. Some of our coldest spots heading below zero tonight. So we'll look at that and what to expect as we head into February a little later.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. And we are going to begin our show tonight with continuing coverage of the tragic midair crash that happened Wednesday night over the Potomac River. Now, the entire nation is waiting for answers to what exactly happened. Meanwhile, witnesses who actually watched as the plane and helicopter collided are sharing what they heard and what they saw just moments after the crash. So Jeff Harris actually talked with a man who says that he heard the crash and right away ran to his window.
Now, he says he heard 2 loud bangs and immediately knew that something was wrong. His name is Abadi Ismail, and he lives in the southern portion of D.C., right in the Buzzard Point area. And we want to show you exactly how close he was to where the crash happened. Let's take a look here at Google Maps. Right where my thumb is Buzzard Point, where Ismail lives. Then to the left in the middle, where the blue is, that's the Potomac River, where that crash happened. And then over on the other side is Reagan International. Now, he says the noise that he heard in and of itself was scary enough, but when he looked out the window, he wasn't prepared for what he saw. Right around 8:50 Wednesday night, Ismail says he was getting ready for bed when out of nowhere, he heard an unsettling sound.
I heard bang, bang, loud bang within two bang, bang within seconds of each other.
Unsure what was going on, Ismail began searching through social media, trying to find an answer.
That's when the news started to break up, whether it's that there were some reports that a plane crashed with a helicopter.
Located on the top floor of his building, this is Ismail's view of the Potomac River and in the distance, Reagan National. Wednesday night, he looked out that window, shocked at what he was seeing.
I saw smoke. I saw smokes. And even with the smoke, I did not think for seconds that could be a plane crash.
In disbelief, Ismail says it was hard to fully comprehend what was going on.
I, just couldn't put the points together that could be a plane crash.
But it was. And now a day later, Ismail says he's been watching and hoping as crews work to recover the passengers on board.
They've been trying to find any sign of life, but we've been watching, we've been trying to help.
Now, as we mentioned, Ismail lives on the top floor of his building in Buzzard Point in the southern part of D.C. And he says that pretty much routinely, he sees helicopters flying around his building, but occasionally he will see a helicopter that's flying right at his eye line as he's looking out the window. I'm Jeff Harris reporting from Washington.
Turning over to news from the White House tonight, President Donald Trump is set to follow through on one of his major campaign promises. New tariffs are set to be put on Canada, Mexico, and China this weekend. Experts say they might have a major impact here in Michigan. So Taylor Brummett with our sister station reports, and he's saying that many prices, we could see them skyrocket.
And I'm not a fan of tariffing Canada for a lot of reasons.
Northwood University economics professor Timothy Nash says he's voted for President Donald Trump all 3 times he's ran for president. But that does not mean he agrees with this policy, which places tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Trump says these policies are needed to combat illegal immigration.
It's not a trade issue per se, and I think that that can be mitigated very effectively through the government, state departments, the border police forces, etc.
Trump wants to place a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico. China, meanwhile, would be hit with a 10% price hike. But Nash says history shows us this could have major consequences.
The Smoot-Hawley tariff of 1930, that tariff was what led to the Great Depression. It was bad monetary policy and terrible trade policy.
Experts say prices for many everyday goods will likely go up. And WMU professor Matthew Ross believes Michigan's auto industry could feel the brunt of these tariffs.
Certainly, there's a lot of auto parts that are coming across the border, and those would be hit with the tariffs as well. So certainly auto parts coming in from abroad are likely to be hit by these. So I would expect costs to go up.
And again, President Trump says that the tariffs are to combat illegal immigration. However, Professor Nash says there are other ways to do this that won't financially punish those countries or our country. All right, moving a little closer to home now, chances are a lot of folks who are watching this have dealt with some sort of pain in their life, physical pain, at least a little bit. Luckily, the number of people who deal with chronic or intense pain is far less. But for those folks, relief can be elusive, and for some, they rely heavily on painkillers and other medication. So a Munson neurosurgeon is utilizing new technology that more than 150 patients have already used to cut their pain, and in many cases also cut their prescriptions. So here is our very own Mark Chalette with that full story.
As someone that really, really appreciates footwear and really appreciates heels, I almost about fell off my stool when I saw her in those, because those are not shoes that Deb wears.
Maybe not before, but today, Debbie did. She wore those shoes with a little heel and walked to have a moment with the neurosurgeon who took away her pain.
My life back.
You needed
My
it.
life back.
You needed it. Sorry to interrupt. This poor
you gave me
girl.
my life back.
You see, fancy new shoes or even walking around wasn't something Deb could do.
My pain was 24/7. It never stopped. It was a constant pain, and it was sharp.
She dealt with back pain for years. Over time, what was annoying became unbearable.
As I got older, it got worse. And I can't remember a time without pain.
She tried everything, as chronic pain sufferers often do, with little relief.
My pain level was at an 8 or a 9, and it was constant.
Trying every option to get relief, she ended up here at Munson Neurosurgery, desperate for a solution.
She did everything everyone asked of her, and still she is without durable relief. And so at that point, my spidey senses sort of start tingling, and I start thinking, wait, I have an option. I have an option for this person.
This is that option.
This is essentially an implantable device. It's very, very small. It's a minimally invasive thing. And what it does is enables us to send essentially a current or electricity to different areas of the spinal cord. That's depending on where the patient's pain is. And we know that by doing that, we're able to modulate how those sites perceive pain and transmit pain up to the brain to what the patient actually perceives.
Before surgery takes place, a simple test is run in the office to see if the device would provide relief. If it does, a couple of small incisions are made, it's inserted, and the patient often goes home that day, and often with a lot less pain and a need for a lot less pain medication.
That is confirmation that we're on the right path. That is confirmation that we are serving our people and giving them the life that they deserve, the life that they have wanted. It is, in a word, everything.
It's a new approach to treating pain, but the science behind it has been around.
The idea of using stimulation, spinal cord stimulation, neuromodulation is not new at all. Decades of research and work done on this.
But this is marrying that time-proven science with the latest technology to provide often elusive relief.
I feel great.
Feeling good enough to walk, to wear the shoes she wanted to, and thank the team that made both of those things possible.
The fact that she not only was able to do that and then was so delighted about it, that was magical.
Getting to wear the shoes you want may seem like a very little thing. But for Deb, it's really a sign that life is getting back to where it should have been, thanks to some skilled hands and a little technology.
I would do it again. I would get the stimulator again. I definitely would.
That was Mark Gillette reporting, and the device and the procedure typically are covered by insurance. Now, if you have any questions about this or if you want to learn more, Dr. Pearl is encouraging anyone to reach out to Munson Neurosurgery. They say they'll be glad to discuss all the options and find the right one to return patients back to the life that they could be living. Another local story here tonight. So if you happen to have any sort of outdoor security camera at your property, at your home or your business, you can partner with the Traverse City Police Department to help keep the community safe. So the department has launched a voluntary private security camera partnership program. Now, we are told the program will allow people to register their private security cameras to the police department in hopes of preventing crimes and solving investigations within the community. So the police department says that the information gathered from security cameras that could be used to help law enforcement identify and prosecute individuals who do commit crimes.
I think it's a great way to partner with community members, whether they're business owners or private residents, to have that interaction with law enforcement in a positive way, to go out and seek their help in making our community better.
And the police department says to register, you can complete a form with basic information about your camera. That information will go straight to the department. It will not be shared publicly. They say police won't actually have access to the camera unless permission is granted by the owners. And again, participation in the program is entirely voluntary. We have much more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com. But I know I had a lot of questions about this story too. Let's say you do register for this program. Again, if something does happen where police would want to access your security camera, they won't just do it even if you are registered. They will still ask you for permission to access certain files from the security camera. And again, it can help prevent and solve crime. So much more information on our website, UpNorthLive.com. But let's turn things over to our question of the day related to this story. So, would you be willing to share your security video with police? Scan the QR code on your screen right now. That'll take you to our website where you can vote. We have 417 votes, and right now, majority are saying yes. But in our Facebook comments, a lot of people are a little skeptical. So our comments don't really reflect the actual results. So kind of interesting. We will continue to monitor these live results, and then, you know, at the end of the show, like we normally do, we'll look at the final results and read some of your comments. But let's turn things over to some fun winter events happening across northern Michigan this weekend. So the Black Lake sturgeon season returns tomorrow, and this was after last year's was actually canceled due to ice conditions. I believe that was the first time that the season was ever canceled. So the Black Lake Chivalry is already underway. The tent is open until 10 p.m. You can register for the poker run and the ice fishing contest. Organizers do expect the ice to hold even after a few days with kind of warmer temperatures.
You know, it warms up during the day, but then it does cool down at night so that the lake kind of freezes back down again. You know, just one thing that, you know, even we say in the DNR as well is the ice is never 100% safe, but it takes quite a bit of warm temperatures and has to stay warm throughout the night as well to really start deteriorating things and make it break up. So.
And registration for the season has already closed, but admission to the Chivalry, just $5. The season officially opens at 8 a.m. tomorrow. It'll end when the 6th fish is caught, or if 5 are caught by 2 p.m. tomorrow through Wednesday. Now, another fun event happening this weekend, but right now the final preparations are underway as Antrim County gets ready for the 49th White Pine Stampede. The finish line at Shanty Creek is empty right now, but tomorrow there'll be hundreds of skiers racing through. Now, the White Pine Stampede is Michigan's longest point-to-point cross-country ski race. It's made up of 3 races, and it'll start at the high school and will end at Shanty Creek Resort.
There are a lot of folks who are excited about getting back to normal, getting back to that, like, you know, especially those people who like to do the long distance trails. They haven't been fortunate enough to be able to do that with the winter we had last season. So to be able to do that with such great conditions that we have right now, we've really gotten a ton of snow. Things are fantastic, and so it's even more exciting. It's like great skiing, great lengths. They're pumped.
And right now there are about 200 participants, but if you do want to take part in the race tomorrow, registration is open starting at 7:30 in the morning. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, but Joe Charlevoix will have much more on your weekend forecast straight ahead.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Well, we finally made it to Friday, which means our Saturday is right around the corner. But this Saturday, a little special because it's also the first day of February. And it seems like there's a lot of outdoor winter events happening this weekend. So you're probably curious, what is the weather going to be like? Joe, fill us in.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of events. We'll take a look in a few minutes. You mentioned February 1st tomorrow. And then we have what after that, February 2nd.
Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Big weekend, gosh.
Lots going on, I mean, to your point. It is a little cooler tonight, Maya. You know, we had 40s yesterday. Traverse City reached 50 degrees, and you see the numbers there. We're in the 20s and 30s this evening. Nothing unusually cold. In fact, it's actually still a little above normal. You know, look at Ludington. You're at 35 if you're tuned in down that way. We're in store, though, for a cold night tonight. That's right now. Here's what we're looking at for lows tonight. And we'll pencil them in. I mean, Sault Ste. Marie could get down to around 9 below tonight. Pellston, Drummond Island, you get the idea. It's going to be a cold night. 1 at Newberry. Even as far south as Grayling, we're looking at 4. Gaylord 2, Petoskey. So a cold night. Winter night across parts of northern Michigan. Let's take a look at, well, we'll start off with our satellite picture, kind of a regional look. And there it is. Now, we missed out on some rain and snow. It was actually a wet, kind of snowy day downstate right here. Earlier, some rain. Now that is switching to snow. Detroit's seen a little bit of snow this evening. That is coming to an end there shortly. moving away. We never really had much of an impact out of that here. Meanwhile, we'll jump up into northern Michigan. I'll expand the view here a little bit. And we've clouded over. Now, if you can picture this, we have a north wind. It's bringing in some lake effect clouds and then also some snow showers in spots. So you can see some of the snow showers extending down from, well, near Gaylord, Johannesburg, Lewiston, seeing a little bit of that snowfall. Not much happens tonight. There will be a few lake-induced snow showers going on as we head through tonight. Tomorrow, quiet weather on our Saturday. Again, if you have plans tomorrow, it looks pretty good. Then Saturday night into Sunday is when we get some snow in here. See that tomorrow night, and there we go into Sunday. Right there, snow Sunday morning. Could be a bit messy on the roadways. I think this will be mainly a morning event Sunday. And then see by the afternoon, most of that comes to an end. So here's our look at weekend snowfall. Very little tonight. And there's that system Saturday night to Sunday right there with the highest totals north or east of Gaylord. I mean, if you're around Drummond Island, you potentially could see up to 8 inches of snow, possibly. That might be a little bit on the high end. Less as you head south. You know, Big Rapids, Mount Pleasant, you're looking at about an inch of accumulation down that way. That's through the weekend. I want to even go further into Monday. Right there, we could see a little snow. There's still some question if that will pass over us, but we'll see. That may miss us to the south, but there's the chance for some snow on Monday. So here's a look at the extended forecast right through next Friday. And again, we're looking at a warmer day on Sunday, but it'll come with that snow in the morning. A few snow showers Monday. We'll keep an eye on that. And then Thursday, that system could be a little messy. Right now, it looks like maybe some snow, sleet, or maybe a little rain or freezing rain on Thursday, Maya. So that's, about a week away. We'll keep an eye on that.
And Joe, if people want to get up to the minute weather forecast for all across northern Michigan, how can they do that?
Well, they can download the UpNorthLive mobile app and enjoy your time on there. Look into in depth on it, and we keep it updated every day.
That we do. All right, thanks so much, Joe. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up next, a busy weekend ahead for all things basketball, high school, college, and professional. Sports Director Harrison Beebe has a preview of all that coming up next.
We are counting down to tip-off on another exciting Friday night of high school basketball. Up North Live's Cody Barrow have highlights from across northern Michigan this evening, and we're keeping an eye on the Big North Conference boys basketball standings. That's because TC West and Cadillac will score off for the second time this season. The Titans are undefeated for a reason. They beat Cadillac in their building back in December. But what will happen in the rematch in Cadillac tonight, we'll find out at 11. We'll also have highlights of Traverse City Central and Petoskey's BNC meeting on the hardwood tonight. And keeping a close eye on other games going on across northern Michigan. Elk Rapids and Harbor Springs, two of the best teams in the Northern Shores Conference. The Rams had a comfortable win over the Elks in their building a few weeks back. How will the rematch fare up in Emmett County? We'll have those highlights at 11. And at Traverse City Christian, Reese Broderick was our guest in the Jimmy John Sports Corner yesterday. Reese chasing the all-time career three-point record for any high school basketball player in the state of Michigan. But he says he's more concerned about getting this Sabres team as far in the playoffs as they can get. And they'll get the chance to take on Brimley at home tonight. We'll get you those highlights all tonight during sports and hometown highlights at 11. Of course, basketball continues into the weekend. The Pistons hosting the Mavericks, and the Pistons, well, they're just happy to be back at Little Caesars Arena after wrapping up a 5-game road trip where they went 2-3. They won the first two, but then dropped 3 straight, taking on the Mavericks tonight in downtown Detroit. Michigan and Michigan State both playing Big Ten men's basketball games tomorrow. The Wolverines will meet up with Rutgers in a 3:30 tip-off, and then the Spartans are out west going up against USC for the first game of a California tour. Then they'll play UCLA later next week as MSU looks to stay perfect in the Big Ten and move to 10-0 if they can get a win over the Trojans on Saturday. That'll do it for your look at sports right now. Hang with us. We'll be right back.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Our question of the day today, would you be willing to share your security video with police? 79% of voters say yes, 12% say no, and 9% say unsure. A lot of mixed feedback in the comments. So Tammy says, if it helps save your family or convict someone that murdered one of your family members, wouldn't you want someone to share it? So yeah, that would be a hard yes. Melissa says, hard no. That's an invasion of privacy. A lot of people says, just depends on the situation. Head to our Facebook page to join in on the conversation, but that'll do it for Up North Live Unscripted on this Friday evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend, everyone. Take care.